This NFL world woke up buzzing today, and when I say buzzing, I mean absolute chaos across social media, sports radio, and locker rooms around the league because one rumor has exploded into full-blown conversation status. The idea that the Dallas Cowboys could be preparing to move on from Dak Prescott, the face of the franchise for nearly a decade, in favor of drafting Shedur Sanders, with the Cleveland Browns involved in confirmed Blockbuster trade discussions, has sent shockwaves through football fans everywhere. This isn't just another offseason rumor meant to generate clicks. This is the type of conversation that only happens when front offices start seriously questioning their future and their ceiling. And whether you love Dak Prescott or you're ready for change, this situation demands attention. Dak Prescott has been the Cowboys quarterback since 2016, and in many ways, he has embodied what Dallas wanted to be after the Tony Romo era. He was steady, professional, durable for most of his career, and capable of putting up impressive numbers year after year. But the longer his tenure has gone on, the louder the doubts have become. Every season seems to follow the same script: optimism in September, flashes of brilliance in October and November, and then heartbreak or disappointment when the lights are brightest. For a franchise like the Cowboys, where championships are the standard and not the exception, patience wears thin very quickly. Jerry Jones didn't build this brand to be satisfied with playoff appearances. He built it to chase Super Bowls, and the pressure to deliver one before his time runs out is very real. That pressure is what makes this rumor feel believable. Dallas is stuck in that uncomfortable middle ground that teams hate. They are too talented to blow everything up, but not dominant enough to truly scare the league. Dak Prescott's contract situation only adds fuel to the fire. His cap hit continues to grow, and every dollar committed to him limits flexibility elsewhere on the roster. When you're paying top of the market money for a quarterback, the expectation is that he can elevate the team in January, not just manage games in the regular season. Internally, the Cowboys have to be asking themselves whether Dak has already hit his ceiling, and if that ceiling is simply not high enough to get them where they want to go. Enter Shedur Sanders, a name that carries weight before he ever steps onto an NFL field. Shedur isn't just another quarterback prospect. He's the son of Deion Sanders, one of the most iconic players in NFL history, and a man who understands the Dallas Cowboys brand better than almost anyone. Shedur has grown up in the spotlight, handled intense media attention, and thrived under pressure situations that would overwhelm many young players. On the field, he's shown poise, accuracy, toughness, and leadership, even behind offensive lines that didn't always protect him. Off the field, he brings confidence, charisma, and marketability, traits that matter more in Dallas than they do in most cities for the Cowboys. Drafting Shedur Sanders wouldn't just be about football. It would be about resetting the narrative. It would be about injecting excitement into a fan base that has grown restless. It would be about selling hope, jerseys, headlines, and the belief that a new era has arrived. Jerry Jones has never shied away from big swings, and this would be one of the biggest of his career. The idea of pairing the Cowboys brand with the Sanders name feels almost too perfect, which is why so many people believe this is more than just speculation. But the Cowboys aren't operating in a vacuum, and that's where the Cleveland Browns come into play. Cleveland has quietly built one of the most complete rosters in the league. Their defense is elite, their offensive line is strong, and their skill position players are capable of making plays. What they haven't had is long-term stability at quarterback. The Browns are tired of experiments. They're tired of resets. They want a quarterback who can step into the huddle on day one and command respect. Dak Prescott fits that description perfectly. He's a proven leader, a locker room presence, and a quarterback who can keep a talented roster competitive every single week. From Cleveland's perspective, trading for Dak Prescott makes sense if they believe they are one quarterback away from making a serious run. They don't need a superstar who throws for 5,000 yards. They need consistency, decision making, and experience. Dak offers all of that. He would instantly become the most accomplished quarterback the Browns have had in decades. And in a division as physical as the AFC North, his toughness and professionalism would be highly valued. The trade discussions reportedly being confirmed don't mean a deal is imminent, but they do mean both sides are at least open to exploring the possibility. That alone is significant. Teams don't casually discuss trading franchise quarterbacks unless something deeper is happening behind the scenes. This would not be a simple one-for-one swap. This would be a complex multi-asset deal involving draft picks, potential cap considerations, and long-term planning. Dallas would likely be looking to position itself perfectly in the draft to secure Shedur Sanders, while Cleveland would want assurances that Dak's contract and health align with their championship window. What makes this entire situation even more fascinating is the emotional component. Dak Prescott is respected throughout the Cowboys organization. Teammates believe in him. Coaches trust him. Fans are divided, but many still appreciate what he has given the franchise. Moving on from him would not be easy, and it would send a message that Dallas is ready to gamble big. That kind of decision can fracture locker rooms if it's not handled carefully. At the same time, it can also energize a team if players believe the move brings them closer to a championship. There's also enormous risk involved for Dallas. Drafting a quarterback, no matter how talented, is never a guarantee. Shedur Sanders has all the tools and pedigree, but the NFL is unforgiving. The speed is faster, the defenses are smarter, and the margin for error is razor thin. If Shedeur struggles early, the pressure in Dallas would be relentless. Every incomplete pass would be scrutinized. Every loss would spark comparisons to Dak. Jerry Jones would have to be fully committed to riding out the ups and downs of a rookie quarterback in one of the toughest markets in sports. However, the potential reward is equally massive. If Shedur Sanders develops into a true franchise quarterback, Dallas could have their star for the next decade on a rookie contract, freeing up cap space to build an even stronger roster around him. That kind of flexibility is how teams win championships in the modern NFL. It's how Kansas City built around Patrick Mahomes early. It's how Cincinnati built around Joe Burrow. Dallas knows this, and they know their current financial structure makes it harder to chase elite talent across the roster. For Cleveland, the risks are different, but still significant. Dak Prescott would arrive with expectations. He would be expected to win immediately. If the Browns gave up significant draft capital and didn't see postseason success, the move would be heavily criticized. Dak would also need to adapt to a new system, new teammates, and a fan base desperate for sustained success. Cleveland has been burned so many times at quarterback that patience is thin there as well. The NFL is ultimately a league driven by bold decisions. The teams that play it safe often remain stuck in the middle. The teams that take calculated risks sometimes fail spectacularly, but sometimes they change the course of their franchise forever. This potential Dak Prescott and Shedur Sanders storyline sits right at that crossroads. It's a bet on the future versus loyalty to the present. It's experience versus potential. It's stability versus upside. Jerry Jones knows that his legacy will not be defined by regular season wins or divisional titles. It will be defined by Lombardi trophies. Every move he makes from this point forward will be viewed through that lens. If he truly believes that Dak Prescott cannot take the Cowboys all the way, then moving on, no matter how painful, becomes a logical step. And if he believes that Shedur Sanders can be molded into the next great Cowboys quarterback, the temptation to pull the trigger will be overwhelming. As of now, nothing is official. Talks are talks. Rumors are rumors. But the fact that this conversation is happening at all tells us everything we need to know. The Cowboys are questioning their future. The Browns are exploring a bold upgrade. And the NFL world is watching closely. This is the kind of story that can evolve quickly, and if momentum builds, it could turn into one of the most shocking trades we've seen in years. So the real question isn't whether this idea sounds crazy. The real question is whether both teams believe the risk is worth the reward, because if this deal ever becomes reality, it won't just change two franchises. It will change the balance of power in the league, ignite debates for years to come, and possibly define the careers of everyone involved. And that's